I know you watched the Boondocks. Have you watched the Boondocks?
Oh, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I used to read it when it was a newspaper strip.
My brother had the big collection of all the strips, but they had that one episode of basically coming up with the idea of like one possible way that the Twin Towers was an inside job. They had the security guard who was going to be there, that they were going to turn into a hero and shit, because whenever they were going to blow up the building, Ed Wuncler III was going to blow it up and shit.
Oh yeah.
That was funny as fuck. It's such a good take on like the Twin Towers and shit. That was so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And speaking of
oh yeah, we're doing a podcast.
Entertainment. We are
Black entertainment.
or something. I don't know, man. Look, trying.
Don't look at me.
Really trying to get a segue in is hard on this podcast with Melissa.
Speaking of Black
shit.
entertainment.
All right.
Oh,
We're here
my God.
on the Turtle Reads, me and Melissa, with Charles Adams Jr., our esteemed guest today. We read the autobiography of Malcolm X. And it was a really good read. I've heard about him my whole life and shit like that. It's good to read the book finally about his life and shit.
What'd you hear about him?
I mean, Black revolutionary.
Was it mostly school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly school shit. And even coming from South Louisiana, it's not like most people are like, oh, you don't really learn about like true stuff about them. They changed the history books. Not really. I had learned, most of the stuff that was in the autobiography already, just like this put it into more detail of like all the little details of him while he was in prison and shit like that, which is good to find out, like he was legit like a drug head whenever he went in, and it changed him completely, shit like that.
Yeah, he went through a lot.
Yeah.
Changed his whole life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even from adolescent until his passing, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everything was just changed with him. But, he was able to adapt with everything, all the way from just, I don't know how far y'all trying to get into it, but, yeah.
How far?
We
For
read the
podcast.
book. This is
Oh,
what the
yeah.
It's
podcast
long
is.
form. And it will go as far as we feel like going.
Yeah,
I mean, all the way
until
from-
Melissa just gets some ADHD tangent that she wants
Yeah,
to
just start talking about drywall or some shit.
Yeah.
This was my second time reading it. So the first time reading it, I was a lot younger. I was a lot angrier. I was from the Bronx. And my second time reading it, now I'm a lot older and I have a little more of my personal perspective. So it was interesting to kind of just read it twice within the span of time.
You're not a commie anymore.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm not
he was
no, that's true. It's true. Yes. I'm not a commie anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if I could
I'm not like an outright commie. Well, Hispanics, there's like a group of Hispanics in the Bronx. It's like a tight Marxist community of nationalists, especially during the 60s and 70s, right?
Yeah.
There was the Young Lords, right, with the Black Panthers. They're just the
Right, I
Puerto
heard
Rican
about
version. And
I didn't know that. Wow.
basically they were just, they did a lot of activism that was around homelessness, and they would just occupy a lot of empty buildings
So
and
you
tell the
think-
cops to fuck off.
So do you think, okay, like with Malcolm, up until his passing and like after that, do you think everything from what you just said kind of branched off of kind of his beliefs, and then like how he
How do you mean?
thinks?
His radical, you talking
Like
about
his,
like his,
at first he was like radical until he started changing, you know what I'm saying? And then like he started getting more like, not like Martin Luther King, but he started to like ease up on like just hate other races and stuff like that. You know
Yeah,
what I
he
mean?
became more himself.
Became
It's almost
more
like
himself. Changed again.
I feel like he found himself. Like he found his true conscience. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
before he had been guided by, I mean, it says it in the autobiography. He's not saying it outright, right? He's just kind of telling his story. But if you see his story, he the whole time he needs guidance, right? He doesn't have a father figure, right? So he keeps getting them. People see potential in him. They see that this is like an intelligent, really charismatic guy, probably, right? He doesn't know that, but that's probably what they see in him. And then they want to help him. So all these people kind of go out of their way to guide him, but a lot of them are misguided themselves. Like they're pimps, right? Or they're drug dealers, or they're this, or they're hustlers of some kind, right? And then later on,
Prison.
then there's prison, right? And it's people who are themselves trying to find, the way.
Yeah,
But also,
it seemed like he was always meant to be a leader in some form, and even if it was like criminal, religious,
absolutely,
radical, public speaker, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I think everybody's like that.
Yeah. He was
Everybody's
always meant to be a leader up until the end, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. They have a quote that kind of talks about how him, like, kind of describes him finding himself. I was going through the hardest thing, also the greatest thing for any human being to do, to accept that which is already within you and around you. Mm-hmm. Like he was already, you know, had the mentality of like, oh, I'm going to do something great or figure out something and lead and shit. And then he just found that right path for him. And then eventually, like, it started off with kind of hate, you know, white devil, all that kind of shit.
Right.
But then it evolved to, oh, well, now that I'm in my position and now that I see things for kind of more of what they are, a little bit more peaceful than I thought they were, shit like that. It kind of settled him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad he got out of Nation of Islam. They suck. They're assholes. They're fucking so terrible.
Man,
they are.
I didn't say that.
There's
a lot of them.
Yeah. I'm not because I'm not pulling this out of my ass. I interacted with a lot of them in New York. They would set up like, you know, I lived in Uptown, right? They were Uptown. One of their main mosques was 125th Street and I think Malcolm X. Well, yeah, probably that's why. But Boulevard, Malcolm X Boulevard, right? And they would be out there all the time. The women with the satin, you know, scarves and the dresses, and then they'd be out there. And then they'd go down to Midtown Manhattan, and then they'd go down to Union Square, 14th Street, and that's where I went to school. So I was always listening to these guys, you know, and they would basically, like people like me, you know, like mixed race people. They don't like mixed race people. Right. And they only like you if you like renounce your whiteness or something. It's like, you know, genetically, that's not possible. You know,
I don't think you can do that.
You cannot do this thing that you are requesting of me. And I remember in high school, one time, me and a group of my friends, we were just kind of walking around Union Square. They were there. And then we all just like had a big argument with them because we were trying to kind of be like, well, what about this person? Well, what about me? Well, what about her? What about this? And they would just say the craziest shit. And then the whole time you got pictures of fucking UFOs. You know, because that's their little like side thing, which is the UFO thing. I don't know where that even fits in.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, and they were just dressed like, you know,
like
Knights of the Round Table.
White people brought aliens.
Yeah, exactly. The aliens. Right? So then one of my friends was Korean. And then she goes up to them. She's like, well, what am I? Right? Am I a devil? She's like, I'm Asian. Right?
Right.
Well, this is how this guy spun it. I think he was like the smartest one of that group, right? So he was like the spokesperson, right? So he pulled this shit out of his ass. I saw him do it. He goes like this. He goes, well, clearly, your descendants include Genghis Khan, who planted his demon seed in the Asian race. Like he's just like making it up. He's just riffing.
Now buy this bean pie.
Yeah.
And put like, down the pork.
Yeah.
I have to say, Malcolm X, whenever he had children, like he had daughters, he named them the wildest Attila after Attila the Hun.
Pretty cool.
What was the other? Was it not Genghis? It was another male fucking conqueror name.
Oh,
like he named his all of his daughters the names of ancient male conquerors.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that. It builds character. They get made fun of.
Super weird.
You know?
Yeah, they will get a chick named Attila will get made fun of for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, if her name's
like
Attila,
an MMA fighter. Come Attila.
She's gonna have to work so hard to stay really dainty looking because if she gets too buff or big, she ends up being like 6 feet tall.
My eyesight is getting
horrible. Yep.
Let's see. What do we got?
Yeah, Attila, Shabazz. Kubla Khan. That's the other one. Kubla. After Kubla Khan. Yeah. Like what the fuck, dude? You're making this your daughter's life's horrible. They're gonna get teased their entire elementary school.
Yeah, that sounds mixed.
Depends.
You Asian and black? You Asian black. You Asian black.
Like, what is
you black
happening
Asian
here?
My sister.
How would you prefer to say this? What directionality of this combination would you prefer?
Yeah.
Man.
Kubla Khan. I mean, it depends. If you luck out and you end up with enough nerds in your class, it might be cool. They might maybe like history nerds or something.
Oh yeah.
Then maybe they'll be like, "Oh, that's so cool." Kubla Khan, hell yeah.
Yeah, they probably got married to some kind of history professor or something who thought that name was really cool.
Exactly. That's kind of her only option, really.
Akila Johnson now.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah. Malcolm X. So was this
Formerly Malcolm Little.
How many times have you read this book?
Oh man.
I had a feeling. How many times?
God, I don't even know, like 20 times, front and back.
Okay.
That was like one of the first books that helped me. Like, so when I was a kid, I used like in the summertime, like now, I would go to the library down the street, and I had like a tutor,
okay,
who would help me like read, enunciate, like help me with my words back then. And one of the books we like came together was on Malcolm X. Mm-hmm. And so my dad was cool with it. You know, it was all good. So that's how I got into Malcolm X, through that book. I already knew who he was, but just the autobiography, it like really opened my mind. Really made me want to go back and just keep learning, definitely how to read, and then better myself as a reader. But yeah, so yeah, 20 times, yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. That book's good because did you grow up in like in the hood, like a low income neighborhood?
I grew up in the ghetto.
That book is good when you grow up in a neighborhood like that because it's harder to fight something that isn't an enemy, like a clear enemy. It's harder to fight like poverty, right? It's harder to fight and kind of overcome that kind of stuff. But if you have an enemy, like a white devil kind of idea, if you have an idea that the reasons why things are like this is because of a particular group of people,
right, that you don't even see all the time,
it just makes, especially if you don't see them all the time, because then you don't go bash their heads in, right? Then it becomes about getting out of their devil maze. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's a good, if in that sense, it's a good bait and switch book, you know, because it starts off and that book gets you fucking pissed, right? You read the book, right, and you're like, why are we living like this? We're like animals. What the hell, you know? And it's, you know, these white people with their sick sexual urges, you know, and all this shit, and then
like all the encounterments with the Klan,
and you're like, white people don't want me to learn how to read. I'm gonna learn how to read, god damn it.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas if it was something more general, you know, it wouldn't work. It would be like, you know, the socioeconomic conditions predetermine you not wanting to read, right? It's like, you're not gonna do anything with that. You're gonna be like, shut the fuck up.
Right.
But if it's like white devil, right, or Jews.
Right now with
right now, yes.
Right now with the lower classes, it's actually more accurate. It's just generally considered the establishment.
The Jews. Yeah, I know.
No, not the Jews.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
what? Oh, okay.
Well,
who is it?
I do love whenever you go wild.
Are they Jewish?
All right, look. Okay, we don't. Jewish hoods? It's not the Jews. We will. But please, somebody tell me, who are we supposed to put in these ovens?
It's.
Oh my God! What is going on?
If it's not them, okay, fine. It's not them. We agree. It's not them.
And also,
but somebody has to go.
No, the heads of most of the actual like banks and stuff right now are Irish people.
The Irish. Let's kill the Irish.
I don't want to kill nobody.
Hey, I'm down with this.
Okay. Sick, freckly, redheaded.
Dang.
Look, I have to back Melissa on something.
God dang. Yeah, y'all on your own on that one. Good Lord. We just celebrated Juneteenth. Ain't trying to kill nobody. God damn.
Wait, I thought we just read a book about going after the white devil. For sure, Irish people are the white devil.
Yeah, but I'm focusing
like
on coming out of it. You know, that's Malcolm X is one of the bases of that, but
those are the whitest devils.
It's 2024. Like, I don't do
safest
that anymore,
to persecute.
Yeah,
okay?
the potato devils.
The whiter ones, the whiter ones, those are the Scandinavians, and they're way too big. We can't fuck with them. They're scary. So Irish people, that's safe.
Yeah,
they were always farmers mostly. You know, they're easy, easy peasy.
Your responses are funny. That's why.
The Scandinavians, those people were Vikings. You don't want to mess with them. Just leave them alone.
Don't mess with no Vikings, man.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
I read an essay from like the 1800s. Some guy was talking about how he took a trip to like this Netherlands or whatever, and that was like way 1800s now, right? So they're still living in tents and whatever. and they got their farms. And he said things like they would stab each other for fun.
Oh, come on. Let's practice shanking each other. Jebediah. I don't even know what the names would be.
Jebediah.
I said Jebediah. I don't even know. Yeah. Shink, shink.
No,
That's like-
it'd be more like Igor. And,
Igor, there we go.
And Rolo or some shit.
It's like one of those names. One of those names with like 6 S's
Yeah.
and 3 K's.
Yeah.
Smart of
And like a J.
fuck.
We only
Yeah.
take a bath once a year.
Yeah.
God, no. I just went to a Viking party the other day. So.
How'd it go? Wait, really?
I did. They had like a fire breathers. I called them firebenders because they were just like. I was like, man, this is tight. I don't want to get burnt, but it was tight.
I used to go to the they had like little Norse party type thing in Seattle. I would go to at some mead halls, and I got
Mead.
heavy into mead.
Norse party. That's like the white Juneteenth.
Oh yeah, dude. It was lots of large white dudes who looked like me. There was only generally in each of these parties there was only 2 of them that were like actually fit. The rest looked just like me. But they would serve mead in a giant like punch bowl with frozen fruit in it to cool it, and that was so good. I got heavy into mead. I would just do ladles of it and just fucking go to town.
I don't think I've ever tried mead, but I
It's
feel
good.
like it does sound delicious.
It is great.
Man, it'll sneak
It's
up
honey
on you.
wine. It's fucking
Yeah, I
great.
like honey and I like wine.
Yeah.
My goodness.
You should.
I've been missing out on mead my whole life.
Missing out on mead.
Is it spiced?
You can get spiced or regular. The one I like the most is called Viking Blood, BLUD.
Of course it is.
Hell?
Is that anything like what Joe Rogan's selling now? Or the elk blood or whatever?
No, definitely not.
We gotta talk about that off camera. What's that?
He's just selling. He's like selling cans of something called elk blood now.
You realize that might be. I don't know if that's like real. There's multiple things that are advertised that they use.
It's not real.
AI to use Joe Rogan's voice to advertise stuff.
No, it's him sitting on a stool selling it.
AI.
Yeah. Can we find this? I'm pretty sure I saw it on Instagram.
I've seen multiple ads.
I haven't seen it since,
that
so I'll
have
give you that.
used AI to use Joe Rogan to advertise for shit.
I think this one's real though.
I don't know.
I don't believe a lot of that stuff.
All right. I'll Google that
I'm
shit.
just saying.
All right.
What do you think if Malcolm X was alive today? What do you think he would be advertising? Or do you think he would have a podcast? That would be hilarious.
Man.
Malcolm X with a podcast?
I was thinking about that.
He'd have a great
today,
podcast.
Too, right?
Yeah, that would be wild.
He'd basically be like
It would
Just
just
talking
be
about guns. Not
the
Yeah.
Nation of Islam.
he'd be like
podcast.
Alex Jones-ish kind of deal, you know?
Think
Black
so?
Alex Jones,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
I mean, if he stuck with, it depends on which
No,
direction he took.
because he was changing. So I think he would be. I mean, he'd probably be like, "Man, y'all fucked up out here. All y'all are excommunicated." I don't know. I think he would definitely be as like where MLK was. You know what I mean? I think he was going in. I think he was headed there. If he was alive to, I mean, if he was alive today with 100 some years old, I think he would be more like we all need to come together, but be on the same page and something. That's what I think. I don't know.
No, I agree. I think he would have been, because MLK seemed more community oriented and, he was religious, but he spoke religiously like an allegory, a lot of comparisons to biblical things and metaphor, right?
Right.
But Malcolm X always seemed a little sharper, more and like harder, like more realist, right?
Yeah.
So he was almost like an economist.
Yeah, that's
You know
what I'm saying. I don't think he would be like all about. I don't think he would use religion to like get people to come together. You know what I'm saying? I think he would just be more like, "This is what's going on.
Yeah.
I need to stop that."
Well, if anything, he'd be like Thomas Sowell.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think so. Because
Yeah.
Thomas Sowell is he's a conservative, right?
Right,
Thomas
right.
Sowell is
Okay,
also
so
conservative.
Malcolm X be conservative.
I think so.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Which means nobody would like him.
Yeah.
And
No,
he would go nowhere. He was actually
would-
more successful because of when he lived.
Yeah.
If it had been
Yeah,
now,
right.
he'd just be working for the Manhattan Institute for like, whatever
Yeah, he would.
So he'd still be
whatever
in New York.
salary. Yeah.
Now he gonna move to Austin. Be like, yeah, we
Yeah,
gonna-
maybe. Try something new.
Oh, y'all are crazy.
So it's actually good that he lived when he did.
yeah.
I
mean,
he'd have a good
He
following.
served his purpose.
yeah.
He served his purpose.
Yeah. You think so? What do you think he
He would-
served
he would
as
end
a
up-
like what do you think he did for people?
I think I think like the voice, like I think like freedom is more of like freedom of speech.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't afraid, even on like going into his final days. He still just kept going, just kept speaking with his opinion. You know what I'm saying, and getting out there and using his platform. You know, back then I don't think they call it a platform, but like using his platform to change. You know what I'm saying? And I think
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he was less. He was more combative. He didn't
more combative.
Right?
He wasn't afraid,
but in a good way. What I'm saying is, it's always good when people say exactly what they're thinking. You know, they just put it right out there, tell the truth. That's always every time I've ever seen anybody do anything like that, it's always been great. Even if, and I'm not saying Malcolm X is like that, but even if it's something really stupid, like that Terrence Howard interview with right. Like even that, I'm like, yes, say it. Get out there.
He definitely said it.
Even
I don't know what he was saying, but he definitely said
nobody knew what he was saying.
Yeah, that caused Neil deGrasse Tyson to come out.
Neil deGrasse Tyson was like,
I had to rewind it a couple times. Like, okay, all right, black.
Which although I've heard Neil deGrasse Tyson say some really stupid shit too. So
oh, absolutely,
yeah,
but not that.
It all everybody's at one point says some stupid shit.
But he was going off on like redoing the periodic table of elements.
Yeah.
I was definitely confused.
I didn't like that because I was like, this is not.
You can change color. Color can change back into numbers.
Yeah, rhythm. It's a rhythm, and it's like
I'm like, for real.
You're trying to make the periodic table of elements more musical. You know,
Man, I was
to understand it through music.
yeah. Malcolm put a shot his ass.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I don't believe in that brother right there.
Yeah.
He got too much conch in his hair. He had a swoop. I'm just saying. He had a swoop. I'm like, come on, Joe, hit him. He got a swoop in his hair.
Terrence had it.
Yeah.
Well, he had the hood up most of the time, and I couldn't sit through it, so I didn't see when he pulled it back or anything.
I don't know if he did. I'm just,
That's hilarious.
I'm just joshing.
No, yeah. Whenever Malcolm X was talking about doing the conch and shit,
Oh God.
I've never really done shit with my hair. Like I pretty much always just let it be natural. Wash my hair. I'd never dyed it or anything. Hearing about fucking
Putting lye in your hair.
putting lye in your hair
That's crazy.
and burning the scalp.
Yeah. This is the results.
Did you used to treat your hair?
You used that conch
Just
shit?
one time. I don't know if it was
Just one
conch.
time.
Jesus.
I had an afro and he was like real nappy, And I was like, man, I really wanted braids, but when I would get braided, it would like pull my scalp.
Yeah,
so this
that's
chick,
no good.
she was like, oh, just put some of this in your hair. And I was like, all right, bet. Covered my hair, was all white. And I was like, man, it's burning. What you cooking? And next thing you know, she washed it out and it was over with. It
Seriously?
just started falling out.
I was
I
actually...
burned it. Just burnt
Oh
up.
my God.
Fuck.
Thank God I had a beautiful shaped head. But,
Yeah, it's true. You lucked out.
Oh,
That's
Lord.
true. Yeah.
I got lucky. But yeah, my conch is.
I have a giant. I wouldn't be able to do that. I have a giant scar down the middle of my head from whenever I had surgery as a baby. Like giant white scar, like straight down the middle.
Well, it looked like a kind of like a mohawky kind of deal.
If I ever lost my hair, I would look like a Bond villain. Like this would not be okay. I would. Which cool. It works
Might
for
be
security
cool.
work, but not if I want to go out on a date.
You're gonna get so much security work once you're bald.
For sure.
You're gonna look so good for that.
mustache.
Yes, you can.
Handlebar
Oh, yeah, with the
mustache.
They're gonna
handlebar.
be
and-
recruiting you.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah.
They're
But
gonna be recruiting you like
then-
when people try to pick up a hot chick. It's like for modeling. You'd be like, hey, you ever thought about doing security?
God
Got a
damn.
good look.
But then if I want to go to a fancy restaurant or something and you can't have a hat on in the place, I look like the fucking complete deviant in the whole fucking
So
place.
you'll get better service
I'm used
because
to
they
that.
think that you'll kill them.
I'm
What's
used,
the
to
big deal?
I'm used to looking different. Ain't nothing wrong with looking different.
Yeah.
You'll be all right.
Trust me, I've always looked different.
I love it.
It's just there's levels to how different
That's
you
true.
look.
It's true. You don't want to look crackish.
Yeah, exactly. I don't.
It's a fine line.
That's the
I
bottom.
don't want to look like I just got off the street, like sleeping on the street.
Hey, baby, I'm trying to go to this restaurant, baby. On 53rd and
Although
43
I did-
half. I don't know.
I did think of a
Wasn't the
cool
whole
like Halloween thing with the scar on my head. Like I could paint it on top to look like different stuff, like hands coming out of
The
the
reptiles.
the scar, or like
Yeah.
spiders crawling out of it or some shit.
there you go. Look at
That
that.
would be dope.
So look at that.
Don't cut your hair.
Now you can't wait to be bald.
Don't do it.
I love my hair.
No, okay.
And don't put any process or conch or whatever. Isn't that the same? Is that the same conch?
I don't know. I never heard of
Because it's
conch
lye.
before this book. Before this book,
What is it?
Lye?
Lye.
It's lye.
Lye is like for cleaning. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like industrial
Yeah.
cleaning.
Yeah,
That's not
it's-
cool. You
it's-
should not be putting that in your head.
My great grandmother used to do that in our backyard.
Yeah.
Like old school, just like with a big old tub, just with lye in it. Just
Lye
Ooh,
is
we had the whitest clothes
part of
ever.
the mixture that
For real.
people put into dissolved bodies. Is lye. That's one of the things you add to the mixture.
Right.
So it's just you shouldn't be putting that in your hair at all.
Yeah. Well, but the shit that they do, I don't know if they
Ooh.
still use lye for treating, for straightening, for hair straighteners, but it's pretty bad. I think they just came out with something on the New York Times about how it causes cancer, infertility, all kinds of shit.
Everything, brain cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you out of there.
Yeah. And it's all to
Look good, look pretty.
look good, I guess. But it doesn't look as, I
I
don't
ain't
know.
never been pretty,
that's-
baby.
that's-
I love it.
A lot of that
Dude.
makeup and different beauty products and shit. It's all whale feces, fucking all kinds of horrible shit that we probably shouldn't be putting on our bodies at all. Is put into that shit. It's not. None of it's good.
I guess. But I guess it's just really, it must, I don't know. Cause I have there's a whole curl system thing now, right? And I have midway, not too terrible. I think it's called 3B. That's the curl thing that I have, right?
Oh, okay.
And that's annoying. So if you got 6A, if it even goes that high or something like that, I guess that must be just deranging to have to comb every day, to have to deal with, to have to do. Is that why you were trying to braid it up and just get rid of it?
I guess I was trying to braid it up to get that hang time, make it look good or whatever. I don't know.
Is that what you wanted? You just wanted to look sleek.
I just want to look sleek. There it is. That's the word. I want it to be sleek to the scalp, just hang.
It just, that does look good. That's why everybody always tries to kind of get it like that. Braiding is the best way. But this girl, I was talking to this girl last night because she has braids and her name's Ngozi. You know Ngozi? She's a comic book artist. She does comedy sometimes. But whatever. She was talking about how she knew a friend who had done something similar to what you did, but she was getting it cornrowed so that she could put a wig. But somebody put some crap in her hair, and she's just completely bald. She has she just has hair behind her ears, reverse sideburns. You know? It's fucked up.
That's gotta hurt, especially if you're a chick. That's gotta really suck to have.
I like bald head girls.
Two patches.
Bald girls can be hot.
I like bald head girls. You're fine.
It's fine.
Bald
You have
is
tits. You
fine.
have a pussy. It's it's fine.
Bald
It's
is fine.
It's
but
okay.
Wow.
If you're a chick with
Good
bald,
Lord. I wouldn't go that far. I'm sorry.
if you're a chick, bald head chicks, a lot of them are
Which
hot.
it's the reality of being a chick.
But if you're a bald head chick with patches, that does not look good.
Well, you gotta shave it. You just gotta shave
Yeah.
it. You gotta go. You gotta kind of lean into it, shave it
Yeah.
off, and just make it like your personality. Kind of how you make glasses your personality. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get the right style, and suddenly you're like, this is good for my face. And you just kind of stick with it.
Like I did with the handlebar mustache.
Those look good
and
on
shit.
you.
These are my reading glasses.
Yeah.
Those are your reading glasses.
Yeah.
That's a really good style on you.
Right. What that word is like?
You can get bifocals.
Malacca. No, I'm not there yet. No, I'm totally blind. I'll take these off. It's over.
Let me tell. Okay,
You don't want to look at these.
Here's a question. Here's a question.
Yes.
You read this book 20 times, right?
Oh yeah.
Can you kind of go through your first reaction reading it as a kid or however old you were to the last time you read it? You know what I'm saying? Every time you go back to a book, you get a new insight, you get a new perspective, you're a new person. Every 7 years or so. So 20 give me the timeline of your
So when I first started reading the book, I was about 12 years old. What's it? No, I was an 8th grader, something like that. First, I was just really trying to understand what was going on because it was just moving so fast in the beginning, and it was just I was kind of disgusted. You know what I'm saying? And as I got older, that changed. I understood what was going on, all the racist acts that was happening in his life. Not that I could relate to. Basically, not that I could relate to what he was going through. as I got older, I could put myself in the shoes and understand. You know what I mean? So the middle of the book, jail. I ain't never been to jail. So I ain't never been to jail. So in the beginning, when I first read it, like the middle, I was still kind of just real confused and just like, man, I'm like, this is weird. Like all this, like, change and just like stuff going on. And finding the Nation of Islam, which I didn't really know what that was because we didn't have it here. And all of a sudden, where I grew up, we did, but we didn't. But they wasn't, as prevalent.
Where were they?
Where you were?
What were they doing?
They were right down the street. So they were right down the street, 12th and Chicon, with a crack. Where it used to be really Crackville right there, 12th and Chicon,
were they trying to
all
help
the
them?
bars are now. I don't know what they were trying to do. We just kept going because it was just too busy of an area. So. And then with that, you know what I mean? Like trying to figure out like, so I'm like, Dad, what are we? Are we Nation of Islam? You know what I mean? He's like, no, we just black. Shut your ass up. You just go to school. That's what you need to focus on.
Who said that?
My dad. He was like, we just take your ass to school. You don't worry about none of that shit.
That's such a dad thing. He's like, no, don't look that way.
Don't worry about
don't
none
look
of that shit.
way.
So
here, Lunchables.
then fast forward, like in that moment, I got older. Then I was like, okay. He was getting reform while he was in prison, like changing over to the Nation of Islam. And I knew a lot of people growing up when they did go to prison and they would join them, they would just do it just to get out of there. All right.
And to be safe.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to be.
You join a group whenever you get in prison.
Somebody
that's,
mess around.
Either you join a group or it's a lot of fights.
10-4. So yeah, man. So basically, I would say all in all, generalize what I'm trying to say is basically when I was younger, I just didn't really understand what was going on, and just like real like kind of just frustrated and disgusted with the book, really.
How?
You know what I mean? I was just like all the
frustrated and disgusted.
I was just frustrated with like all these events he's going through, all the stuff he's going through. You know what I'm saying? And then he gets up getting here, and when I'm just like, why he do that shit in the first? Like, why he do that shit in the first place?
You didn't?
Because I don't think. Because I'm like thinking about me. Like, I'm like,
I didn't grow up.
I'll tell you what the difference is.
I didn't. Yeah.
You weren't like into drugs heavy and then going to prison. So you were
I'll tell
like,
you what it was.
How is he falling into these pit holes and not me? And like,
he had a dad?
Yes. Yeah. That's true.
Right?
Yeah,
you had a dad.
Yeah.
He had a dad. Justin, do you have a dad? I had a dad. Right?
Yeah.
It keeps you.
That was straight.
I don't even know what the fuck. I don't even know what that is. The dad presence.
It's super
I feel
important.
like the dad presence It's like it's not overt. It's just kind of there. It's a man, right? But I'm saying like when it kicks in is like when you're about to do something especially stupid,
yeah,
or when you could, right? It just you're like the dad presence kicks in,
you
like something in
voice.
you, it kind of goes.
It grounds you in reality. Yeah, it grounds you to reality.
So that's the frustration.
Right before you do the stupid thing. It's like,
why is he doing all this stuff?
Yeah.
You know? And then, yes, it was different. Obviously, I mean, when I was a kid, like early 90s, I mean, he was like, 60s, all that, obviously that was different. But still, though, I wasn't like skipping school and like going like, selling drugs, pimping hoes and shit like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was sounded cool, but hell no, I wasn't trying to do all that.
You're also a different person, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, obviously me having a dad's presence very much helped. But also like, I mean, because I did take sociology, race relations when I was in college. So I was about my community. You know what I mean? So a little bit of maybe like with Malcolm, the things like towards later years, I like lingered like you know what I'm saying, I would like cling to or whatever, you know what I'm saying, like with the like coming all together type thing, you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So basically like 20 years from like the other 20 times me reading the book younger, it was just like really frustrating, just like I don't know what the hell he's talking about, like I would never do that. To like now older, like yeah, I mean I get it, I still wouldn't do it, but I see the change. I see the change throughout the book, what he went through, and it was very rapid. And I just couldn't imagine myself living like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he was clearly a guy who liked to chase excitement.
Yeah.
He was, unlike his other siblings, they all kind of were pretty
like
chill.
Home. homebodies.
Yeah, they're homebodies. One of them boxed for like a bit, right?
Yeah.
But then they joined various occupations, and a lot of them stayed in small town areas. Or
because he was more like, I gotta get I gotta get out of this house. I gotta get out and go.
He could have been bipolar.
Yeah, he would hyper. It seemed to me like he would hyper focus on, like, whenever he was doing drugs, it was hyper focused on drugs. Whenever he got into to reading and information, he wrote the entire dictionary long form and shit, and then just started reading everything. Like, he would hyper focus on, like, all right, I'm gonna gain knowledge. I'm going to, like, and then eventually just like he hyper focused on the Nation of Islam and was like, all right, this is my life now. I'm hyper focused on that. And so he was just a very like one track mind. And then that is your life.
Because without the Nation, he would have definitely been dead.
Yeah.
A long time ago. Because remember, he was like running numbers. And
the
pimping and running numbers and drugs.
What was that dude's name? Indian
Apache something?
No. Like it was a friend of his who ran numbers. He had a photographic memory, so he didn't have to write anything down in the notebooks.
Yeah.
And then at one point,
his name.
Indian? You're saying he was like a
I
West
remember
Indian?
his homeboy Red.
Yeah.
Well, also he called out Red Fox as being a pimp, which was hilarious.
That's true.
Yeah.
I can't say that's true.
But no. Indian was part of that dude's nickname. It was like Indian Red or some shit like that. It was a bookie, and at one point he had Malcolm X's like name on a hit list and shit. Like he was coming for.
Is it West Indian?
West Indian Archie.
Because he was West Indian or something
West
like
Indian
that.
Archie. Yeah,
he was black, but he's like West Indian.
Yeah.
Like
And he fucking.
He was like Kamala Harris.
Yeah. And
he crooked. I don't know.
What? All right, thanks for being on the show. Hell yeah.
But to me, that was like having a dude with photographic memory being a bookie. That's actually a perfect gig for them. You literally cannot get to get a bookie. You have to catch them with their books, with their ledgers and shit. If you don't have to have a ledger because you have a photographic memory, then as long as everybody trusts that you're honest about the numbers, your job is fine.
Yeah, but they don't trust nobody over there.
Oh, I mean, yeah, of course.
Everybody ended up shooting everybody.
Yeah, for
sure. They don't trust anybody.
For sure. But you have a perfect gig as long as you can, keep everybody believing that you're trustworthy.
Yeah, but that's bad, right? That, in a way, being good at those kinds of jobs traps you in those jobs because then your ego and your identity gets wrapped up in it, right? But if you notice, one kind of thing about Malcolm X during the whole thing is that he wasn't actually very good at anything that he kind of did. He maybe selling joints.
Yeah,
but really he was just good at hustling. But mostly he was just smoking it with them and just hanging out. So he would just kind of make money because he was always out.
Yeah,
right.
He was always
with the
in
musicians. With the musicians, he was hanging out with them a lot, so he'd sell. But he was really smart traveling to train with his fucking pass.
Yeah.
And selling weed like across the country. That was a fucking smart move.
But even that, that's like he's good. He has like a good strategic mind.
Drug trafficker.
Yeah.
But he wasn't good at selling drugs. He was just good at strategy. Like when he was talking about how he would catch those rabbits before everybody else.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like he wasn't good at catching rabbits. He just figured something out that these guys have figured out, but he just kind of took it to this other level.
Modified it.
Modified it, right? Yeah. So he was good at that. And I think that's actually what saved him from, because at every step of the way in all these kinds of occupations, the main mistake is that people stay in them, right?
You're comfortable.
It's like even when strippers are like, oh, I'm just going to college and this is what I'm doing, but a lot of them they'll stay stuck stripping. That's the problem, right? These are stepping stones, if anything. Like you don't have any other way to have money. You don't have a trust fund. You don't have anything else, right? You want to make some quick cash, right? Okay. Right? Maybe you're in a place where this seems okay for you, right? Do it, but don't stay in it. And Malcolm X, you notice he never stayed in any of these. He was always kind of jumping.
Yeah, he had his hands in everything.
Yeah, he would, but laterally, right? He would kind of keep going. And then finally he found like an institution to work for, which is the Nation of Islam, right? Because that makes it, once you find like a legit institution, even though they scared the shit out of white people and everything, right? They were a legitimate organization, right, with discipline and structure, right? And that was the one thing that these other things,
Nation too.
the minute he had that, straight to the top, right? So it's like he just kind of I think that's what it's all about. You gotta kind of keep jumping until you find that one place where you can thrive.
Yeah,
that's like the best for your personality.
Oh,
yeah. You know,
I mean, whenever it's
like
that
ADD,
part of the thing,
entertainment.
Yeah.
Well,
with that though, also it's if you're trying to get into like that kind of group or something, your rise to the top kind of depends on other people's ability to recognize whether or not you're good for that. Like Elijah Muhammad clearly like saw that Malcolm X had a ability to speak and kind of so it is.
Leaders are easy to spot.
Not always.
Nah, they're you could see it. They're always.
oh really?
I think so. Huh?
Oh really?
I think even if you don't see it at first, the quality of it, I don't know if it's. I think it actually might be genetics. Honestly, a combination of genetics, psychology, and like whatever neurodevelopmental, cocktail. If you get the right one, if you get to hit the jackpot, if you are a so-called leader, you will become this. And it's like you said, like he would have become the leader of something, no matter what, right? It's just your personality. Because it's like that saying. It's like wherever you go, there you are. You know, you will be you, no matter where you are.
When he walked in the room, it was like,
right,
bam.
I bet it was.
Oh,
I bet it was like that.
Yeah.
You just see him coming in. And, girls have to have like triple D's to get that kind of response from people. You know what I mean? You got to walk in, you got to be like the hottest chick on the block. Right. And he did that. He was like, he had the personality that was the equivalent of like just a hot chick.
Oh, triple D's.
But just his.
Yeah, triple D personality.
Triple D personality, just the force of his personality was like.
Boobies up here.
Boobies, yeah.
Ooh.
Mind boobies.
Yeah, he had mind boobies.
Yes, I am.
That's what leadership is. Leadership is mind boobies. It's mind titties.
It's mind.
It is.
It's mind titties.
That's charisma.
Yeah, that's what charisma is. Charisma is mind. It's a mind titties.
She is fine.
Yeah.
I ain't know we gonna get any laughter out of this. So I'm like, I'm not trying to.
That's our job is to take take these books, no matter whether they're fantasy or history books or
hey, watch
autobiography.
I don't have a job. I'm not interested in having a job.
Okay.
Look, okay, fine. I've used the wrong word. That's what our
hobby.
Yeah, our hobby is taking these books and finding the funny somewhere.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
It could be a little harder. It could be a little easier.
Yeah,
depending on the book. This was interesting though, because I think the first time I read it, I didn't catch the stuff he would say about white people.
Oh,
like especially at the beginning, he's like,
"Oh yeah, I'm not even gonna say half that stuff."
Some of that stuff was crazy. Because it's like I get it, but some of that stuff it's like, all right, dude, relax.
Yeah,
I know, right? I'm just like,
calm
this
down.
is my first time reading it, and I'm very white. I'm French white, so it's like I'm reading. I'm like, man, this is making me feel really bad.
Yeah,
I kind of felt when I was like, because I remember like Clay, I came up to you, I was like, autobiography of Malcolm X. He was like, yeah, and I got home, I was like, damn, hold on, wait a minute. Is he gonna be? We gonna still be friends?
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm telling you, dude.
I was like,
for sure. I'll read anything. I'm fine. It's just like it was getting a little awkward while I'm reading it. Just like, do I have to go like pay somebody some money or something? And I just feel bad. Do I have to go clean someone's shoes?
No, you gotta lick them. You gotta lick them.
Spit shine.
Yeah, no, fuck that, man.
I've
seen those videos.
You gotta do a little hawk tour on that racism.
Oh
yes.
Well, speaking of
spit on that dang.
Spit on that racism.
Speaking of unemployed, that's what she is now. Yeah.
She's disowned.
God dang, her summer is gonna be very long.
No, man. That girl is gonna make lots of money, and I hope for her the best.
She's gonna be like that Cash Me Outside girl.
Oh yeah. Well,
you
no.
Think
so?
I think possibly, yeah.
Hawk Tuah girl is way more classy than Catch Me Outside.
No, more classy. I'm just saying rich. Because that Cash Me Outside girl, she made so much money.
A shit ton of money.
Crazy money.
As long as Pookie take care of it. I love your Pookie. I love my Pookie. Sorry.
Dude, I watched
It
that
killed
interview.
me. I was just like, what? This is amazing.
She was a fun girl, just overall.
Yeah, she was cool.
I would love to see her on TV. She was just so fun.
Yeah, fuck that district she worked for.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
They had on Legion of Skanks. They did they were watching because just like the creepiest fucking thing that a lot of people do is they have these websites that are dedicated to when certain celebrities are going to reach 18. So whenever they're legal.
Okay.
And yeah, they had one for the Catch Me Outside girl at one point for whenever she became legal. And it's so fucking weird. The people
Her
who like
OnlyFans?
subscribe and it it was linked to, but it's like a link tree type thing, but it's specifically for people who are underage, and it's like they have a countdown to whenever they're 18. It's so fucking creepy.
It's like watching the ball drop.
Yep, exactly.
Oh yeah, they definitely dropped.
Yeah.
I saw her. I saw her in some restaurant, pregnant, just fighting it. I was like, she gone.
Really?
Terrible.
Like in a video and online
Yeah,
and stuff?
somebody got her fighting her boyfriend. Like
Yeah.
big old
I mean, she's
belly
total
just-
trash. She knows it. She doesn't care.
She know.
She did a bunch of music videos.
Yeah.
Made a bunch of money like that. She had a single, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a whole group of them all at once. They had like young Thai, like the young Asian chick who was had the rap thing and was talking crazy and shit. And then it turned out that her mom was like pushing her to do that shit.
See, come on
And
now.
there was a whole group of them all at once that was like just really ghetto.
They knew what they were doing.
Listen, OnlyFans and that part of the internet, they are basically Malcolm X's Harlem in the 1930s. You
Yep.
know?
Damn.
It's like the same economy. Same things going on.
Yeah.
Just out there.
Running numbers, selling hoes, right?
Yeah.
How is this different? It's just
Selling
the
smack.
internet.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
but now these software development nerds get to take a cut.
Yeah,
That's
they
the only
pimps
difference.
now. Shit.
They are.
Like in the words of my fallen soldier, Pimp C, pimping ain't dead. It just moved to the website.
Is that a real thing?
That is for real. You ain't got pulled up, brother. I knows. It's in here.
That's one of the funniest
That's one
things
of my
I've heard.
that's one of my yeah. Pimpin' ain't dead. Just moved to the website.
That's true. It's
That's
called Arrows.
such a great saying.
Yeah, that's Pimp C, baby.
Yeah.
H-Town.
I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna get that tattooed on my ass.
All right. Wow. Guess what? My glasses just fogged up. What's going on here? Thanks for the watch here. Oh Lord.
What you looking up here?
I'm
Melissa?
trying to look up some crazy shit he said about white men.
Oh, okay.
I got my first schooling about the cesspool morals of the white man from the best possible source, from his own women. And then as I got deeper into my own life of evil, I saw the white man's morals with my own eyes. And then he was just like, taking him over.
I mean, shit ain't even bad. That's true. Shit.
But the thing is, it's like,
All my teeth were white. Shit, I don't like
his
it.
whole experience with white people is just the worst scenario.
Yeah.
That's like one time I was traveling. I went on a trip to South Africa, and I had a layover in Frankfurt, Germany. Right. I got out to check it out. I never saw Germany before my whole life. Right.
Yeah.
I never traveled before. That was my first time. So I was like, "Ooh, let me go check it out." I stamp my passport. I take the train. I get out. It's 6 a.m. on a Sunday. I get out, and all I see are titty bars and drunk, like hungover German guys. Like the gray. Their faces are all gray. The sun hasn't really come up yet. They're just kind of like stumbling around, coughing. It's like hookers everywhere. I thought that was Germany. You know what I mean?
No.
Like I thought that was Germany, and I got sad, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, what a sad state of spiritual affairs with the German man." Blah, blah, blah. I'm moralizing over here, and then I turn the corner, and I realize that I'm in the financial district. I'm like around the corner, like at some red light alley.
Like
Everything else was normal.
Yeah.
you were like on a red light district? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I was like in some area where there's just titty bars there. There's just bars and hookers, right?
How much was it?
Well, I tried to
was it
inquire,
American
but
dollars? I mean, I don't know.
I'll send you the address after the show.
2 shillings.
Yeah. Shillings?
Sorry.
What are you, like a British Herald?
Yeah.
How many shillings for that pussy, governor?
God damn.
I would like a 2 pence.
Oh man.
But yeah, that's my experience in Germany. That's basically his. He's just thinking that these people are all just these dysfunctional, just terrible people.
Put on earth to tear us down.
Yeah.
Because they brought us over here from Africa where we were supposed to be. This and that. It's like, no, I mean, not all of them brought us over here.
Yeah. Well,
Some
not
of
only
us
that, but
brought us over
that's
here.
what I'm
too.
saying. Like, check who's holding the receipts. 'Cause some of them are African.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on now.
And then
Mobutu was like, go and give you.
the word.
Yeah.
The
Bring
word,
me 2 goats, take 5 Africans.
There's like a kudus with,
Yeah.
That's Kudus.
yeah, like
I
some
just
guy named
watched-
Kudus with like 50. He's like, you want them? You can have them.
Damn.
I recently went deep and read about the Barbary slave trades and shit, and also the word slave is derived from Slav, whenever white Slavs were taken as slaves. So it's
Yes, I've watched that YouTube video as well.
I did not know
not
that.
a YouTube video.
Irish
I
people
read a
were
book.
slaves.
I read a book.
He read a
Thank
book. He
you.
read a book.
Oh, okay. My bad.
He read a book. The book's called Goldschlager.
The book's called YouTube.
YouTube. Ain't nothing wrong with
All
YouTube.
right, I read it.
Goldschlager.
I read an excerpt from a book. I don't know what book it was.
It's okay. That's funny.
But no, yeah.
I appreciate your honesty.
But yeah, it was like I'm pretty sure you can't go and look at the history of any country and at some point they weren't also slaves. Like it's crazy to think that there was just one slave trade. It's like, no, slavery has literally been around since human civilization.
Yeah, trade. Yeah, spice. Yeah, everybody was. Every ethnicity, I said right, was damn near a slave.
Yeah.
In some shape or form. Just yeah.
Well, it's just that black people, the slavery was, the emancipation had happened, but Hollywood had already begun. And that was the only thing they had to latch on to.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
So they're just gonna melt that shit because it's the closest to human memory, right? And it's like hours here.
God, I mean, Indians were slaves. Shit,
Yeah, but nobody cares about them. They didn't hit Hollywood. They missed Hollywood. There was a little bit. There was like Trail of Tears, the Little House on the Prairie, right? But that was already on its way out.
Yeah.
And the new sexy suffering was, this had just happened. Emancipation Proclamation, Jim Crow had just happened. You know what I mean? Like the cameras had just been invented.
That's true.
So it was just like right on the cusp of this intersection between like the media that we know now and whatever the human suffering that was happening
I
at
guess
that moment.
it's kind of hard to go way back and see like first slavery and all that, but I don't know. I wouldn't want it. I mean, I wouldn't want it in my search bar, but
my history is already all fucked up, so I'll just search anything at this point.
Yeah, my history's.
Oh yeah, you Creole, right?
Yeah.
You Creole, yeah.
No, Cajun.
No,
Creole is
Cajun.
Haitian Cajun mix.
Yeah, that's my dad. He's Creole.
Nice.
Crazy. That's what he is.
Crazy.
God. Somebody help him. He needs a beanbag. God, my
He
brother.
needs some meditation balls too.
I don't want no damn balls in my hair. I don't want to think it. Yeah. That's how
Give
he's
me a
talking.
boudin ball.
That's how he's
Where's he
talking.
from?
Louisiana.
Also? Okay.
He's from, I was born here.
Did you ever go there to visit family? Or
Oh,
anything?
yeah. Oh,
okay.
Lord. Yeah. They crazy.
What was it like going from Austin to Louisiana?
Hot.
Was it a small town or
Hot. That's what it
Damn.
was. Hot.
Really?
Man,
Yeah.
my own
This
cousin.
place is hot.
Nah.
Hey, oh, no, not the swamp. Oh, Lord. Man, I remember one time we only had one family
I'm
reunion.
going to take you
Wait a minute,
to
wait a minute.
Louisiana one time.
It gets hotter than this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets
Muggy.
to where it's like, imagine just like a giant, really thick blanket just made out of moisture.
I'm moving to Canada.
Just
It's so hot you don't even,
always-
you stop sweating.
just
It's like,
always
you'll sweat.
on your
It's gone.
body constantly.
Yeah.
And yeah, you don't know if you're sweating or it's just the moisture in the air.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't even want to think
You'll
about
have
it.
some good skin, though.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Your
yeah, it's always
skin will be-
glistening.
I have
Because you always
great-
glisten. Your
Yeah.
skin will always be just.
constantly
My-
moisturized.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But and I mean it tempers you. Like I don't really feel like whenever it gets really cold here or really hot, I don't really feel it because like in Louisiana at night it's always super moist, so it'll get cold and then your if you're outside, you just get super fucking cold because it's also moist. And then during the day, it gets super hot and you're moist, and it's literally like steaming off of your body. So like I've just tempered my body has become tempered to all like extreme temperatures.
So I guess genitals are just constantly in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Wait,
What the fuck?
what do you mean?
What
Genitals.
does that
Like
mean?
Genitals?
balls and vaginas
Yeah, they're everywhere.
are constantly
That's
technically in Louisiana. Like they have a
nationwide,
Louisiana terrarium in your pants at all times. It's always hot
Are you
and
talking
sweaty,
about a hot
and then
box?
it gets cold at night. Everything you described is
the-
genitals. Everything you described
Yo,
I'm
is a hot pair of pants. Day in, day out.
Swamp ass.
Swamp ass.
I mean, yes.
Louisiana.
Hence swamp
that
ass.
swamp.
There's
Yeah.
Swamp ass is a definite thing
That's
down there.
everywhere. Yeah.
But
It's everywhere though.
yeah, as a larger man, it just maintenance.
Do you think this?
Thank you.
Do you think this kind of weather in Louisiana brings the races together, and then the cold weather tends to separate them? Do you think weather plays a role in racism?
I think good temperatures, like
that's a good.
calming, like
You ever thought about that?
the middle ground is
Oh,
where
listen.
people kind of separate. Whenever it's extremes on either end, that's whenever they come together.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. So yeah, it's too damn hot to be racist shit.
Yeah.
Get your black ass
No
in this
energy.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are just trying to
Get in
find
this car,
AC.
cracker.
You see like a black guy go by and go, hey! Never mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just forget it. They can, I guess they're people. I don't want to, I just don't want to deal with it. And then when it's really cold, it's like, please come over here.
Yeah.
And hold me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need body warmth.
body heat. We
Yeah.
need
Body heat.
Get your big old ass over here. Yeah. Put it right there.
I think there's
Put it
also,
right there. Ow. Put it right
you got really adamant.
And then François right there. I lost it. It's okay.
All right. We'll find it again. I think there's a sweet spot in the Mediterranean, I think. Because the Mediterranean is like the middle of the extremes where the weather is so pleasant, so perfect, that it puts everybody in a good mood, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. These are theories.
But then
Any
you get so
holes in that?
comfortable.
What do you think?
Then you get so comfortable that you start fucking kids.
That's true. There should be some study about
I'm not gonna
how
say nothing.
much kid
Cut that
touching
out. Cut that out.
intersects with climate
that out.
zones,
Yeah.
with biomes.
I think this is a theory here. It's
Ooh,
possible.
Lord.
What do you think is optimal kid touching weather?
It's right there in the Mediterranean. Like that's why they got the Vatican
Is it
there.
'cause of the
That's why Greeks, Romans, all that shit, dude.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
That Mediterranean
So-
climate is perfect. They get so content and happy, and they're like, what
That
else
kids
can
start
we do?
to look hot.
Yeah, what else? What else do we have to do here? We have some wine and some kids.
Oh, dude. God damn. Thank God I don't have a passport.
Listen,
Shit, I ain't
I don't,
going
I don't-
nowhere.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you,
I'm
I
staying
don't
in
like how
America.
this
Ain't
sounds.
going nowhere.
I don't like how this sounds.
Oh.
And as much as I hate to admit it, I still think you are making a good point.
Thank you.
I
Thank you,
do.
Melissa.
I think this needs to be out there on the internet. We need to kind of have that, just that little soundbite. Just in case a sociologist comes, you have a sociology degree, right?
Yeah.
So just in case this sounds good, you might want to share with your sociological
I ain't
buddies.
sharing none of that with nobody. See, I edited it. I ain't saying none of that shit.
Are there any sociologists that specialize in just like the origins of kid touching and like
God.
Or bestiality.
or like
the
bestiality?
hell? What is
Are
that?
there any sociologists that specialize? Why wouldn't they?
No, yeah,
This
there
is
needs
human
to be
behavior.
someone. Yeah, for
This
sure.
is Malcolm Extreme now.
Malcolm X. Extreme. This is Malcolm X late at night.
Terrible. It probably is though. I mean,
This is the
be
first 3
honest.
chapters of Malcolm X.
What's this?
Ah, fucking
Did
David
you find somebody?
Finkelbohr is
I
an
knew you would wanna
American
know.
sociologist known for his
That's a
research
good
Finkelbohr.
question.
into child sexual abuse and related
See?
topics. He's director of Crimes Against Children Research Center, co-director of the Family Research Laboratory and professor of sociology at the University of New Hampshire.
Like he went to Harvard.
Yeah.
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 So you gotta email this guy.
All right, I'm gonna get in touch.
Yeah, you gonna get in
I have
touch
a
with him,
theory,
all right?
sir.
Mr. Finkelhort.
Finkelhort.
Finkel.
God dang it.
Finkel whore.
His whole all that is terrible.
That is hilarious.
Old David Finkel.
That's his whole career.
What do you think about the Mediterranean and the
PhD.
possibility of climate effects on people's proclivities towards children?
Hey, he spent a lot of years in school just to come. Oh man.
I mean, no, it is like there has to be sociologists who look at like drug use throughout civilizations and shit and all this kind of stuff. So you kind of have to, at one point, some sociologist has to go, all right, I know nobody wants to do this research. I'll do the fucking research then. You know, you have to.
I mean, you like to think that he said it like that, but he might have just been like,
family.
I'll do it.
Yeah. Just Herbert from Family Guy, like, I'll do the research.
I work overtime. I'll do it.
Is that the old dude?
You know what? I'll close up the college. I'll close up the college. You guys just go right on ahead. Go to your families. I'll stay and I'll study. This is really important research. This is so important. Right? And then one of your coworkers has to go to your boss and be like, look, I'm pretty sure that guy is an actual pedophile. And then your boss has to be like, look, we know, but he's the best goddamn sociologist that we have.
Yeah, he's like really good at
Nobody
research
else
and
will
coming
do
up
it.
with fucking sources and shit. And it's like, God damn it, he's good at his job.
too good.
We got all the accolades. Man.
All right, well, we started with Malcolm X, ended on kid touching. That's great.
Yeah. Hey.
That's a record.
There
All right. Well, and it's about time, I think. It was great having you on, Charles.
I really appreciate you guys.
I had a great time.
You got anything
thank
to
you.
plug and put your Instagram out there?
Yeah, well, all platforms is Charles Adams Jr. I got shows coming up at Creek and Cave. Oh, this Saturday, June 29th, is my birthday.
Really?
And I will be on the Filthy Show. Is that cool to say? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will be sober because I'm broke. But yeah, birthday. I'm excited. I love, obviously I love coming to Creek and performing here. And a lot of more Creek shows coming up. But yeah, it's all good.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right. You can find him at
I
the
really
Creek.
appreciate you guys.
You get,
always.
did you drop your Instagram handle right now?
Yeah, Charles Adams Jr.
Okay, great. Yeah.
And Melissa?
Melissa Diaz, #4 at Instagram.
And my name is Mud9210 on Instagram. And go and watch all of our episodes on Creek and Cave Studio YouTube, as well as all the other podcasts. They're super funny, highly social, Filth Show Pod, new one up there, all of them. And thank you for watching. Later, everybody.
Later.
Peace.
Happy birthday.
Oh, shit.
That was almost cool. Yeah.
Just hold.
Yeah.
Catch. Fuck.